Hey there. So tonight I want to make a video coming up close to Christmas time about where I'm getting into the end of the WTF year that I've been doing, and I thought I'd make a little video about some actually really cool WTF moments, especially right now. I know that that Star Wars was just released in the theater, so I could probably be piggybanking off of Star Wars at this point when it comes to videos. But another movie was also released not too long ago called The Disaster Artist, which is haven't got a chance to see it yet, but from everything I hear, it's a fantastic film. If you've been watching my channel for a long time, then you know movies like The Room and Troll 2 and ones that are even like definitely lesser known than that, show up in my channel a lot. I get more people asking me about what Vinegar Syndrome or 88 Films type of film that they should pick up, rather than like the what criterion they're going to get. Now I do both types of videos, but I figure closing in on the Christmas holidays and we're almost ended this whole WTF year experiment that I did, and I'm hoping you guys have liked that. I thought, let's talk about a few films, that aren't The Room, that's not Troll 2, that are actually really fun WTF movies that you may or may not have seen, and that I got there back in my collection. So I'm going to go back there, pick out some movies to show you guys, and we'll look at them together, and then maybe ones that you got that you haven't watched in a long time, one that you got and you haven't really had the chance to watch yet. And I know it's like the Christmas holidays, but everybody watches A Christmas Story. Everybody watches like Silent Night, Deadly Night, or Black Christmas, or stuff like that. So I'm going to give you some non-traditional films. Are they going to be Christmas films? Probably not, but they'll be fun films nonetheless. I'll be right back. Alright, so I got 8 videos here that I'm going to talk about tonight, all Blu-rays off from different companies. Well, not everyone's from a different company, but I guess I got a Kino, Vinegar Syndrome, 88 Films, some Slasher video. I got 3 Slasher video ones, and I got a couple Code Reds as well. And we'll talk about each one of these individually just a little bit. Consider this like a little bonus video that I'm doing this week before I start into like into what I'm going to do kind of in the countdown to 2018, which I'm still trying to figure out. I got my trusty tea here. It's actually fairly late at night. Got a bit of insomnia. Thought I'd make a video. Took my beater in the house, kind of working style type of clothes on right now, so I can either make a video or shelf, decide down the video. We'll go with that. Anyway, so in no particular order, number 1. Have you ever watched a movie and you're kind of getting through it, and you're like, this movie severely lacks in nudity and sense and satanic rituals? Well, if that's something that like comes up regularly on your in your day, then you probably don't have enough Black Candles in your life. Now, Black Candles is a film put up by Code Red and Jose. Oh my God, I always get his name wrong. Larraz? We'll go with that. Larraz. Okay, Jose Larraz. So if you haven't seen any of his films, well, he's made some actually really good movies. So if you've seen the movie Vampires, he did that one. Man Macabre put out a movie called Symptoms with Angela Pleasance. If you don't have that one, I do recommend that you pick it up. It is a good film. He did that one as well. And he did, what? The House That Vanished. And I'll be honest with you, I know I should know The House That Vanished, but I don't quite remember it right now, so I'm not going to pretend that I do. But I do remember Vampires, which is a really kind of cool, erotic, unique vampire film that's definitely one that should be in everybody's collection, but for some reason it's not in mine yet. I really gotta change that. Gotta work on that one. Wow, I lost some credit to myself by not having that movie. Did Blue Underground? Was it Blue Underground put that one out? Yeah, haven't seen it around here, but Vampires. I got to get that one. I got to pick that one up. Remind me, guys. But I do have Symptoms. Now, I saw that movie, but it's been a long time since I've seen it. But I will be reviewing it in the near future because for Christmas I'm getting a lot of Man Macabres, and Symptoms got a limited edition, like a red case, and it's still available, by the way. I got that. That's wrapped up, to be ready to be unopened and shown as part of my Christmas video when I do my my Christmas unboxings. We usually do it on Christmas Eve, so a couple days after Christmas, you'll see. Hopefully, you should see my video up here. I'll probably have to go into town to upload that because here, yeah, that ain't gonna work now, is it? But this movie here, what can I tell you about this? There's a lot of nudity, Satan stuff for sure. Actually, this is by Code Red. Just go and, like, seriously find out, and let Black count. Don't, like, look too much. If nudity doesn't bother you too much, or like the whole satanic ritual thing, they're not really satanic. It's just a movie. But that looks to be something that's your jam. That's something that you're into. Don't look at too much into it. Just go in kind of blind. It's got some different scenes. The goat on the cover. The goat has a disturbing purpose. Yeah, black candles. If you ever wondered or doubted the Canadianness or the Canadiana of my person and this show here, you need only to look towards that massive red-green collection, because that's a favorite show of mine, and actually my better half, who's not from Canada, she loves that show too. And you know the old saying on a red-green is, if they can't find you handsome, they might as well find you handy. So, I used to act in school plays, you know, off, like Broadway type of stage stuff. Well, when I was in high school, I planned on following it up. And I did a lot of classes, like I did dance and improvisation and all that. And there's a reason I'm saying that, because you ever wonder what a movie would be like if you had a bunch of really good actors and they said, like, shag it to the script and just pretty much improv pretty much every line, and it actually changed situations and made the script, I made the whole film kind of like a weird, pseudo, strange, goofy, unusual experiment. Well, that would be Larry Hagman's Beware the Blob. Yeah, Larry Hagman, that is the same guy that was in I Dream of Jeannie, and of course it was JR in Dallas for many years. Show that I grew up watching and adoring, actually. But Beware the Blob, basically had a script. Nobody really stuck to it. You had a lot of good actors in this one. You've got like Robert Walker Jr., Burgess Meredith in this one. He's got Garrett Graham. Oh man, so many. Larry Hagman has a scene. Sid Haig, Carol Lindley, Dick Van Patten. I don't think there's anything else out there that's really quite like this film, but I really, really enjoy the way this one goes. I think it was like, I didn't know ahead of time that it was pretty much all improvised, but both me and my better half realized within about 5 to 10 minutes into the film that, there was no script with this one here. And you know what? I think if they would have went by the script, it would have been a much worse movie. But Beware the Blob as it is, it's a hell of an experience. So do you ever wonder what would happen if you took like a mysterious killer in a Nixon mask and you combined it with like with a Nazi scientist and kidnapping and a love story and like a homemade rocket and all that stuff? Me neither. But I found out when I watched Whorehouse on Highway 5. This is from A Vinegar Syndrome. They put out another one too called Hellbent, which is a really, really good one and much more cohesive than this. It's by the same director. But don't let the lack of cohesiveness keep you away from this gem. It's a bit of a beaut. I gotta say, it's one of those things that's completely a train wreck of a film. Everything seems to be thrown in there. Not a lot of it makes sense, but you can follow it enough that you're having a good time. It's movies like this when you see like things like Troll 2 and you hear about Ed Wood and stuff like that, and you realize, you know, maybe Ed Wood wasn't such a bad director after all, because overall I do understand what Plan 9 was. I could follow the plot. Sure, it was shaky and stuff like that, but it made a hell of a lot more sense than this. But you know what? Whorehouse on Highway 5, it's pretty damn entertaining. Vinegar Syndrome, that's where you can check that one out at. Right there you can see like a hell of a lot of Canadiana like type of TV shows. Everything from like Tech War to FX's series, Whorehouse 13, Sci Factor, the Sinbad series, Mysterious Island, Haven, and of course the one that was really famous there, Due South, and of course Beastmaster as well. There's a lot more of those Canadian style shows that I got. Actually, a lot of the shows that you watch now, a lot of those, like if you watch any of those science fiction shows that come on Sci-Fi Network or here in Canada comes on the Space Channel, then yeah, a lot of those are made over in Vancouver. Even stuff like X-Files. So just a little glimpse into a lot of the stuff that I like. You're going to see a lot of Married with Children and Hogan's Heroes. And my favorite CSI, which is CSI New York. I bet you think this movie looks pretty brutal. Slasher film, Splatter University. Are you kind of thinking there might be some of the Herschel Gordon Lewis kind of feel to this one, kind of the Lewis Friedman type of feel? No, not really. It's actually a pretty tame slasher, come to think of it. But it's one of those mystery ones where, I'm not going to lie, you are going to know who the killer is pretty easy. I don't want to spoil it for you, but it's one of those things where the guy's like, the camera's pretty much telling you, hey, look, this guy can't be the killer. It can never be this guy. Don't suspect this guy as the killer. Yeah. And we all know when that happens, what happens? Well, yeah. Yeah. But it's fun. I mean, it's really fun. It's a tamer one of the slashers. I really did enjoy this one, though. I'll be honest with you, I did remember this one really well before I picked it up. I remember like the other cover with the cheerleader with the pom-poms and the type of thing, but I didn't really remember this film. So, and I waited a long time to get this one. It took me a long time to pick up this film. But this one actually has another... Is this one with another movie or just a... No, this one is the trailer. No, it does. Actually has another movie by the director called What Really Frightens You, which I got to sit down and watch because I don't remember if I've seen that one, but I've heard it's way way better than this. But I really enjoy this. So if you like cheesy slasher stuff and not just, the gore, but you like just like the cheesy slasher, this is a... Yeah, when a movie can stump me on like something really to say, just check out Splatter University, get an extra movie. That's always a good thing. 88 Films in the UK, definitely don't pass this one up, guys. It's a lot of fun. Satan's Blade. This was put out by Slasher Video in conjunction with Olive Films. And, this is actually put out by Arrow as well, so there's got to be some quality into it there. Right? No, I'm kidding. There's no quality at all. This is really like shot on video type of film. It's super bad, and the acting is horrific. There's a nightmare sequence in it that makes no sense, but it's fun as hell. And as much as I'm like trash talking and going and talking, down on this movie here, I've watched this movie several times, and pretty much everybody that comes into my house watch two movies. They'll watch Satan's Blade if they haven't seen it, and they'll see Nail Gun Massacre as well, which I don't have in this list. But come to think that I really should watch Nail Gun Massacre as well. That's also by 88 Films, and check that out. I think Severin put that one out too. So either way, even if you don't have a region-free player, you got no excuse not to have Satan's Blade and Nail Gun Massacre in your collection, unless you don't like really kind of super cheesy shot-on-video movies. This is a really good one, though. And there's an interview that's... just watch it. It's... Satan's Blade. Check it out. Holy crap, it's like another slasher video. Can you believe that? Yeah, Shock 'Em Dead. That's Tracy Lords. Tracy Lords was like an adult film actress that became a really actual legitimate star. She managed to like make that transition over. A lot of that helped due to the fact that every one of her movies, except for one that she actually made when she was underage. No, actually all those movies were pulled. The only actually adult film that Tracy Lords has out is Tracy, I Love You. That's the only legitimate one that you can get, and she produced that. So she's a very smart lady. Not a bad actress either. She acted in profiler. She did a bunch of movies. I remember her in, she was in a John Waters film, Crybaby. She was in that one. But this is Shock 'Em Dead. There is a ton of nudity in this film. Like, pretty much every girl is naked, except for Tracy Lords, actually. She'd done that scene, so she pretty much got out of that. But this is kind of a nerdy guy that wants to be a rock star, and he gets his wish, and he sold his soul for rock and roll, and it's one hell of a film. This is enjoyment all the way through. I mean, this does all the cheesy stuff, and it does it really, really right. I gotta say, I've watched Shock 'Em Dead many, many times. You know, I probably should have more slasher video in my collection, because that's a damn good movie. A lot of fun, and way, way better than it should be. And his hair that he gets, his rocker hair, well, it's a wig, and it's ridiculous, but what else can I say? Shock 'Em Dead. Don't leave home without it. Crap, that is a terrifying cover. Like, just look at that. See those eyes? Like, that's creepy eyes. If you watch Riverdale, kind of get that Black Hood type of feel there. And you have this, like, what looks kind of like, I guess, is it like a tree mask, or is it like, maybe it's one of those cloth masks, you know, one of those town, the dreaded sundown type of things, but kind of dark or kind of black. That's a really effective cover. That would creep me out. Like, when I saw the poster in my local video shop, it kind of freaked me out a bit. It's got nothing to do with the film. Nope. Not at all, really. Hilarity ensues. There are ghosts. There is a man sitting in a chair in a cave. It has one of the most humorous kill scenes and chase sequences that you are ever going to see in a film. None of it. Okay, so there are people that walk in the woods. That's kind of in it. That's there. I don't think it's those two people. And if it is, I kind of don't think it's together. Two girls go up to the woods together, and stuff happens, and then their boyfriends follow them up, and I'm not really giving a good description because I don't want to be totally honest with you. This, nothing to do with the film. This is a super crazy film. This is kind of nuts. But yeah, you gotta love the cover, don't you? Exploitation films, shot on video, bad films and stuff like that. A lot of times you can tell how bad they're going to be by how good their covers are. There's a movie, I think it was in the 90s or maybe in the early 2000s, called Werewolf, and it had this really cool lenticular cover that, you know, I could look at it for hours, and it was always like rented out. So about 2 weeks after, I got to the store and I finally got it. I was so excited. There was this lenticular werewolf cover. Look it up on like Google it. It's a movie called Werewolf with lenticular cover. I kind of expect like Vinegar Syndrome to put that out one of these days, because, you know, Jack Frost and all those type. But it was an amazing cover. Now the movie was crap, and I don't mean in a good, like, you know, this it's so good it's bad type way. It was really crappy back then. Though I'll be honest with you, if Vinegar Syndrome ever released Werewolf with a lenticular cover, I'd buy that thing. I'd buy that thing day one, because Aaron likes The Shining. But yes, The Forest. You want a WTF movie? Yeah, that's a WTF movie. Alright, so let's take a little break here before I go to the last one there and look at something that definitely fits into this category. It's my Shameless film collection. Now, Shameless does a lot of giallos and stuff like that. Unfortunately, I can't show you the covers of a lot of these films because, let's just say, they do like to focus on the exploitation aspect of it, even if there's only a little bit of exploitation in the film itself. They'll make sure that that gets front and center on either on the front of the cover or on the back of the cover. Like great movies like The Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward, which I really do like. I cannot show you. Don't Torture a Duckling, I probably could, though. That's a pretty that's a movie that everybody should have anyway. Movies like Amsterdam, put up by Dick Haas, and if you recently heard of like The Lift that was put up by Blue Underground, though that was also done by the guy that did Amsterdam. Now, Amsterdam is a better movie than The Lift. They're both like good and cheesy in their own ways, but Amsterdam's, in my opinion, the best film that he ever made. Now, the Rat, if you want like pure like batshit crazy stuff, then the Rat Man might be kind of up your alley. That's aside from going out and getting like Sinful Dwarf, that's a pretty crazy film there itself. But there are some great films here. Killer Nun is way less exploitive and a way better film than I realized or kind of thought it was going to be. It didn't fit the nunsploitation and the rules that I kind of expected. The Cat's Victims is actually really good. I think that was also called Watch Me When I Kill. It's definitely not like the exploitive one. It's definitely more story based. Now, there's a few other like great ones. There, Designated Victims, pretty much an Italian version of Strangers on a Train. New York Ripper is a classic Fulci film. If you haven't seen it, you really, really should. House with Laughing Windows is a really good one, actually. Sister of Ursula is one that I love a lot. The cat just shook my camera there, which I'm sure you saw because it wasn't an earthquake, so don't worry. Torso, everybody should have. Sergio Martino, I got like pretty much every version of Torso that you can imagine. I think I do anyway. If I don't, feel free to send them my way. But I've got the Shameless version, and I got the Blue Underground DVD, and I got the Blue Underground Blu-ray of Torso as well. So there you go. That's just a few of the other Shameless ones on this collection. Because if I ever go to show you my entire Shameless collection, I'm going to have to do it, there the cat goes again, very carefully, or I'm just going to have to put stickers on certain things. So let's get back to the list, huh? I love that cat. Drive me a little bit crazy tonight, but I love that cat. So cute. So I'm going to end this on an action-oriented note. It's not a horror. It's like I guess it's kind of the only non-horror one in this here video. But it's one that I'm going to tell you right now. Don't pass it up if you get the chance. And oh my God, it's another slasher video. Who would have thunk it, huh? Deadly Prey. Starring Ted Pryor, directed by David Pryor, right? Yeah, David A. Pryor. Sorry about that. But yeah, David Pryor directed a bunch of films starring his muscle-bound brother. His brother was kind of a bigger guy, wanted to be kind of an action hero. I know that Schwarzenegger and Stallone, when they first started out, weren't really known for their thespian abilities per se, but they are Olivier compared to Ted Pryor's work. This is mind-bogglingly strange. There's a scene in this movie where a guy, Ted Pryor takes off a guy's arm and beats him to death with it. If that doesn't make you want to see this movie, I don't know what I can say that well. It is a really strange film. It doesn't go anywhere at all that where you think it's going to go. It is a crazy, crazy film, and plot-wise, forget that. Remember The Most Dangerous Game? It's kind of like that, except it's not on an island. It's more of like a guy is going to his mail, and they just pick him up in the middle of the suburbs and take him to go and hunt him. But he's way too good to be hunted because it's crazy. Cameron Mitchell got a paycheck in this too, because Cameron Mitchell, great actor, but has never seen a script that he doesn't like, because got to get paid, got to get the cheddar. Yeah, Deadly Prey. If you haven't seen this one, and oh, by the way, 20 years later, they made a sequel. They even used some of the people that were killed off in the first film, because why not, right? Deadly Prey. Anyway, there you go. I did my own WTF year this year, where I got a lot of really cool, quirky, strange movies, and I really enjoyed them. Next year it's Criterion's and Classics, and the classic one I said classics for a reason, because I want to have a broad base of what I can get. I was cheating there, but I'll find out. Anyway, if you've liked my WTF here, if you like my my different, more unique, weirder titles, then then definitely get some of this stuff. 88 Films, Slasher Video, Scream Factory, Arrow. They all put out like titles like this, and they're like major companies, man. Vestron, if you can afford to if you live in Canada and you can afford to mortgage your house to get Vestron titles because they're $50 freaking here, or if they're on sale, they're $39. Yay! Vinegar Syndrome. Vinegar Syndrome is a great place to get these WTF titles. Just if you're not into like the adult stuff, just make sure you look to be sure, because some of them, may be adult and may just have a really good storyline. And other ones may not be adult, and you may be disappointed because you were hoping it was an adult film. Anyway, I just got asked a question. Well, just then while I was making this video, so I'll be right back to answer it. Hey there, James. Retro game collecting. It's never too old to start a new collection. Retro game collecting can be really, really fun. You just got to pick a system that really speaks to you. Now, I've got a lot of different systems. I've actually, as you've seen through the videos, it's actually became a little bit of like a system addiction where I'm getting all the systems that I want from my childhood and ones that I kind of missed out on. But if you want to collect one, just try and make sure that it's one that does well with you. And my better half, she's all about the Genesis. That's what she grew up with. So in January, we're actually picking up Genesis, and we're going to get a few titles. Comes, of course, with Sonic 2, as Genesis often did. And probably going to grab some Mortal Kombat and maybe Aladdin as well, because I remember when the Genesis came out, like they had like Sonic 2 and Aladdin. That was the pack that came out. For me, the Super NES, the SNES system, that's been my personal favorite to collect so far, and I gotta say I do enjoy going back and playing those games. It brings me to this like stress-free period. If I can mention one thing about retro game collecting, the one thing I can say to you is that it's really nice to have that and to get in that spot. You know, that really nice happy spot, that special comforty spot that you only get when you're doing something that evokes your childhood, evokes the past. And when I was sitting down today, I'd done like a bunch of chores around the house, wasn't feeling the greatest, and I just wanted to sit down. I just wanted to do something, just to relax. At the point I didn't want to put on a movie. I just really wasn't into watching any YouTube, but didn't want to read anything at that point. Just wanted to just sit back and relax. And some days when you're really stressed, that can help actually. I set up the Super Nintendo on my CRT TV, and I started playing Super Mario World, and I had a blast. I mean, any type of like frustration or anxiety that I'd had was gone within 10 minutes. Now, I did want to, every once in a while, I wanted to curse the screen, but the cool thing about Super Mario World is you can go back to levels that you did before and just go in and get the stuff that you need, and then you hit like Start Select, and you're out of that level, but now you're big and you got your Yoshi, and you can go on and go back to that level that's frustrating you so much. So Super Mario World works for me like that. I like that game. But yeah, retro game collecting, I do recommend it. And Gods of Monsters is one that I probably should have remembered, where Brendan Fraser did some really good acting, but I didn't. But when it came to like the whole mummy thing and the Brendan Fraser acting thing, that was more of a joke than anything else. I actually don't have anything against Brendan Fraser, but yeah, the retro collecting, I do recommend it. It's you hit back to that special part of your life where everything was so like, oh man. For me, it's like when me and my cousin were younger, and we were like, there was nothing there but the game. We got our snacks, we got our games. Well, a lot of times we go rent them at the store, and it's so many good memories comes out of like a game collecting for me. And it's like one of the things where I can be honest with you guys and tell you that I had like anxiety issues when I was younger than I am now anyway. And one of the things that helped me just get out and just like face was like I had like this game that I'd play, and it got me the courage to do some things that and go some places that I was kind of unsure about going. But yeah, I find that for me, I'm not sure, like everybody's different, but for me, retro game collecting and just going back and playing these games that were such a huge part of my childhood. It it's fun. It's different, and it's kind of a unique thing that you have like away from just movies. Like we can always sit back and watch movies and our TV shows, and but there's times when you just want to get away from it all and go back to that time when just everything was just super fantastic. There's no bills and stress and stuff like that. I do anyway. That's me. Maybe where it's around Christmas time and like there's all this presents and stuff that I think about that I'm like, okay, enough of that. Let's get back and get into the happy place. And retro gaming does that for me. So there, if you guys have never thought about like retro gaming, James, thanks for actually mentioning that. It's not a question, because retro gaming is a big part of me right now, and it can be part of you too. Just enjoy it, have fun with it, find your inner child, and have some games. Maybe get one of those cartoons that you have when you were a kid. Get some nice sugary syrup with a big bowl and have a good day. Speaking of which, I got to go drink my probably getting sugary or at least cold and milky tea. So for me right now, it is time for tea. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great rest of your 2017.